Hey guys, and welcome to another GameXplain discussion. I'm your host, Andrew Siegers, and this time we're joined by Derek Binder and Ash Paulson to discuss all the Smash Bros. Updates from this past week. So let's get started. Alright guys, this was actually a fairly interesting week, I would say. No major stage announcements or anything, but some good stuff regardless. And I actually noticed a theme this time. It seemed to really be Trophy and Menu Week. And that starts on Monday, where we get a look at two new Wii U trophies being Base and Zero. And then Sakurai goes on to mention that Roll and Proto Man will be here as well. And then he also says that he himself was impressed by the quality of the trophies here, which I have to say, they do look great. And I'm sure, Ash, you were super stoked to see this, right?
Well, there's no hope for me. I've already convinced myself that Sakurai is making Mega Man Uprising next, so there's no hope for me. It's yeah. But no,
dude, that's gonna be a harsh crash, dude.
No, it's totally happening. What are you talking about? What else could he be making? No, but honestly, he's showing the Mega Man series so much love. I mean, these trophies are crazy good looking. Especially Base and Trouble.
Yeah, I was immediately impressed with these two, and I even mentioned this to you earlier, like when we first saw this. It's like they're putting so much care into these trophies. It almost makes you think that the team really does want to make a Mega Man game in some way, just because this is gorgeous. This is some really gorgeous work. I'd love to see it in a full game.
I can't wait to see the other Mega Man trophies, because the spread of Mega Man trophies in the 3DS version, once you've gotten them all, is a little inconsistent and a little weird, so I'm looking forward to seeing some of the more obvious characters that were left out, like Roll and Proto Man, being added to the Wii U version.
Well, speaking of the 3DS version, on Tuesday we get a look at the Trophy Horde from the 3DS game. And that's something, I'm sure everyone's seen at this point, but the picture that Sakurai shows is of what appears to be a complete collection, and he even issues a challenge with trying to find Stalfos. And I'll admit, I wasn't able to find him.
No, I didn't either. I sort of gave up. I did a quick pass through, the picture was so small, I'm not going to bother. But, Ash, I think you did.
I believe it's in the top right corner, right there, because we were looking at it before this.
Yeah, I asked if you'd actually found it, and you did. And you said it was to the right of Barbara there, and next to Deku's shrub. So there he is, and Will.
I see him now. I do love the Where is Waldo challenge. I mean, it's almost like this could be a mode, right? It could almost be like a little fun game they add in here.
Well, in the comment he says difficulty level 3, so that kind of tells me there's going to be another one, maybe with the Wii U Trophy Horde in a couple of weeks or something.
That could be.
Yeah.
He also mentions that if you hold down the control pad in a particular direction as you go into Trophy Horde, it'll actually change the arrangement of all these trophies, which is just kind of a cool little touch that I didn't even know about, actually. So
yeah, I think this is something that has been in previous Smash games, so I think I just forgot about it.
I think it has too. I'm pretty sure I remember it, but I would have never rememred it had he not mentioned it.
No, and I tried it, and it's kind of cool, but it's something you do once, pretty much.
Moving on to Wednesday, we find out about about a new single player mode. By find out, I mean we're teased about, but we know almost nothing about it. And we actually gave it its whole own discussion already, theorizing what it could be and what it means with the Master and the Crazy Hand sides here. So do you guys have any further thoughts on this beyond what we've already mentioned?
No, honestly, I think we pretty much just scraped every side of that barrel when we did that conversation. I don't think there's anything else we could possibly say about it.
So I'm actually going to contradict you right there, because I did see a couple people mention an idea of this basically being a boss mode, which would tie into the boss mode sound clip on the 3DS version.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, it could be. We were thinking, what, like stage bosses? You mean like Ridley and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm wondering is what could it be, and it would. I mean, I guess it would have to be stage bosses, which if they have an entire mode based around it, there'd have to be a lot more stage bosses than the Wii U one.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, obviously we have the Yellow Devil. We could probably have Metal Face from Xenoblade, and potentially Ridley with all the teases on the Pyrosphere level, so yeah. I
mean, and it could go beyond that too, like if there is a single player component at all, like a more fleshed out mode, it could be bosses from that as well. Similar in vein to the Subspace Emissary. Kind of like as we discussed in the Kirby Great Cave Offensive level, where I mentioned, what if it's an entire mode, and it could have its own bosses and whatnot.
Right.
So.
Possible. I mean, that's the thing. Since we have no idea what it could be, it really could be anything. It could be
we know so little.
Something we haven't even thought of yet. Because the thing that's striking me is so odd is trying to think of what kind of mode it is. Just trying to think of what the heck the difference is between the Master side and the Crazy side. The most basic thought you'd have is difficulty selection, but maybe that changes even more than that. It's really hard to say. and that's what's throwing off so much right now. But I am very interested to see like what exactly it is. Obviously, it has to be pretty big or something interesting if they're censoring it.
Well, and what's also exciting is that, as we pointed out in that discussion, that this isn't even the whatever green mode is on the main menu. Like this is located in the Games with More section. So we still don't know what the Smash Run equivalent is for the Wii U version. So this is just one look at something.
Right, that's right. So if anything, this is a minor mode compared to the true, main non-Smash mode. So
yeah.
Moving on to Thursday, we get a look at the tip screen for the Wii U version, and unlike the one in the 3DS one, this one can actually display 3 at a time. Now, the interesting thing is, tips is a bit of a misnomer, because some of these aren't even tips. The top one is giving us a tip about the Zelda Phantom Slash, and if the Phantom takes too much damage, he'll go away for 6 seconds. But next up we have Nurse Peach, where it just talks about Nurse Peach's first appearance in the instruction manual of Dr. Mario for the NES, which is a cool little factoid, but not a tip. And then we also have something here about the 3 fastest walkers in the game, with Martha and Lucina being tied for number 1, with Fox coming in number 3. So, do you guys have any thoughts on this?
I love crap like this. It's fun reading all these tips that pop up in the 3DS version, seeing like what kind of crazy stuff they might say, or something they might not know. And I've already said this multiple times with the trophies. I love bits of trivia. So, if I get more trivia like the Nurse Peach stuff, yeah, that's really cool. I find it really interesting. And, he says, the game never seems to run out of Easter eggs, so maybe there'll be a lot like this. So maybe we'll get some tips or some little details on stuff that we didn't even know about before. It's kind of interesting for me personally, but yeah, it's, something very minor, but fun in its own way.
Yeah, I'm with you, Derek. Because I'm an editor, I love flavor text like this, so I eat this stuff up, and I'm probably going to read every tip. The only thing that really kind of bugs me is, same thing in the 3DS version, actually. It would be nice if there was like an archive where, as you see these, they're added to the archive that you can kind of like fill out as you see more and more of these, so you can reference them again anytime you want. It seems kind of a wasted thing not to be able to go back and look at these again whenever you want.
Yeah, that'd be way better. Because the tip screen, I like the tips that come up on the loading screens of the 3DS game. But the tip, going to the tip screen in the options menu, whatever the section is, on the vault. It's the most pointless thing in the world. Like, it's just random. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It is a complete waste of time. Which, so yeah, having some kind of way to sort it would be far better. Like, they do that for the trophies. Why not do it for the tips, which is where you'd actually want to seek out the information in order to... Because it actually does teach you some, some interesting things here.
Right.
Like, I've learned things from some of the tips in the 3DS one that I didn't even know about.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like having a trophy without a trophy, because, like how the trophies have trivia, and this is just kind of extra trivia without needing to, like you said, get the trophies.
Now, Ash, you said there's only one thing that bugged you on the screen, and that is a lie.
Well, that's true. There are actually 2 things. Because I can never take off my editor hat, there's a pretty obvious typo that's kind of uncharacteristic of the treehouse, I have to say, because it's just so blatant, and that's the purple heading, the 3 fastest walker. Which is, I mean, that's just such a blatant typo.
It's weird, right? Like, when you mention it to me, I'm like, okay, I have to, don't tell me I want to find it. I always like looking for those things.
Yeah.
And I ignore the headlines completely, but I'm like, there's no way they would make a mistake in the headline. Like, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that's where it is. It is surprising that they not only made the mistake, but then plastered it all over the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, my English background kicked in, and I saw them like, what the?
Yeah.
That's a fine bit of I can't even say English. It's just a blatantly missing.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's definitely not English. It's just basically a typo, or not even, or the lack of a typo, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Just a complete omission there. But hopefully it'll get fixed up. I mean, at least if there's something to come of this, they know about it now. And Sakurai did say today the game's not done, which means they have time to fix it. So.
Right. True. Now, what I found interesting is the whole next page thing. So maybe this is an archive that Ash wanted, where you can just go through all your tips. I don't know, not sure about the organization of this.
It's the same way as in the 3DS version, it looks like. You just load up the tips menu, and then every time you press A, you get a new tip, or a new page of tips, but that's it.
Okay, so I've never actually looked at the tips menu.
Oh, okay.
Off tips.
I mean, they are categorized here, though, on the left. You have fighters, original games, and other. It'd be cool if you just click on one of those and then go to that section.
That would be nice.
Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Alright, well, moving on to Friday, we get a look at actually a new type of mode called the Photo Studio. And in this, you can take the trophies you already have and arrange them in various ways. So here we can see, what, is it Zale?
Yeah.
Zale, yes.
So here we can see Zale from the last story grabbing some super spicy curry from the Master Hand, while the two girls from Fatal Frame are in the background watching, just watching. Yeah, so I mean, I think this is awesome. It actually gives purpose to the trophies now.
This has a lot of potential, especially if they include Miiverse integration.
Oh, sure they will. Well, I mean, at the least, you can just press a home menu and take a picture of it
True.
that way.
That's true. That's very true. That's very true. But no, I mean, well, there you go. People love creating funny stuff from Miiverse. People will rearrange their trophies however they can, make their own captions for it, post on Miiverse. I can see this becoming extremely popular for people who love Miiverse. And, you know, it looks cool. Hopefully, maybe you can change up the background, because this just looks like the home run contest
I was just gonna say
arena.
that.
I'm sure you can. I mean, even when you're just viewing your trophies in the trophy gallery, you can switch backgrounds. So I'm sure that you'll be able to do that here.
Yeah, so that is awesome. Like, I do love the idea of this. I've already seen how popular people taking pictures of, you know, Wind Waker HD using the camera, the selfies, or even Mario Kart 8 posting replays. I've seen a lot of those. Just another way for Nintendo to leverage, like, in-game assets in a social context, I think is brilliant. This is a really good idea. And it's actually kind of surprising they haven't done this before. We have all these, you know, super well-modeled trophies, and there's nothing to do with them but look at them and read a paragraph of text.
Right. I mean, I'm one of those people that loves reading those paragraphs of text, but I agree with you in that it is really nice to have something else to do with them. And
because, yeah, the reason that I like this is because with the trophies, you can just go online and look up a picture database.
Right.
There's no need to unlock them yourself. Whereas here, if you actually want to play with them now, there actually is a good reason to find them and unlock them.
Yeah, and I'm also liking how far down Nintendo's reaching with the IPs they're representing here, because we know Fatal Frame is a big series on the Wii in Japan.
Right.
So those being the two main characters from Fatal Frame 2, and then we've got Zale from the last story. So it's pretty cool that they're, you know, digging this deep for character cameos as far as trophies go.
Yeah, that's the big takeaway I took. You know, I noticed right away. I mean, you got Zale from the last story, and like, you know, I have the game. I haven't played much of it, you know, but it's still really cool to see that character make an appearance. I mean, right here we got two Operation Rainfall games in Smash Brothers. We fought tooth and nail to get these games into the U.S., and now they're in Smash Brothers. So go figure.
Go figure. They're figurines.
That's very clever. Wow,
you're stretching.
Yeah,
that is stretching. Oh my god.
Nope. Good night.
No. Zale makes a kind of sense to me, but I was especially surprised to see Mio and Mayu from Fatal Frame. Mainly because they're a bit more of a mature, that, you know, is a horror series. It makes me very interested to see exactly what they're going to pull from, because, you know, we've already seen Rayman, and I put these two in the same category to a degree as Rayman.
Right, and I would say even the Fatal Frame sisters are a little less recognizable than Rayman, obviously.
Just slightly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just slightly, But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see the main characters from Pandora's Tower show up too. That was the other Operation Rainfall game. So they'll probably show up here somewhere as well. And this mode just looks a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to playing around with it, especially with all the Mega Man trophies that are going to be in the game.
I was just going to mention, right? Like, I expect, like, basically a fan fiction, like, comic book from you, Ash.
Oh, I'm sure nothing I can do would compare to what the Sonic fan base can do with the Sonic figures in this.
Oh, well, you could do that Worlds Collide crossover in the game.
There you go.
No, but it'd be cool. It'd be like playing with your toys.
I guess the only other thing I could think of with this mode is this is one that can actually take advantage of the gamepad. Like, especially if he offered you like a top-down view on the gamepad, so you can actually just pick up and drop the trophies in a three-dimensional space. Because we do see them, like, they're not on a single plane here, which is promising. So maybe you actually do have a full field. I mean, literally in this case, they actually can move them around it, or a small space within that field at least.
Yeah, it seems like it. Like the way they're positioned, it's almost like an L shape, as far as their planes.
Right.
And so that's obviously not all in one field. So that's it's promising for what you want.
Well, it makes almost too much sense to use the stylus to position your trophies however you see fit. So it seems like it's very possible it would be a Wii U gamepad specific mode.
Alright, well I think that wraps up our Smash Brothers discussion, so thanks guys for watching. If you liked our discussion, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook and Twitter at GameXplain, which you can find links to in the description below. It's a good way to keep up to date on everything we post, and of course keep an eye on GameXplain.com for more on Smash Brothers 3DS and Wii U and other things gaming as well. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.